everyone. Welcome back to In Her Words. I am Tando Mazubugo, and today we have a amazing, talented special guest who is a songwriter, a content creator, a model, a producer, and an all-rounded artist and a businesswoman, not to mention it. Hi, welcome to In Her Words, Renee. Also known
Hi.
as Black Orchid, right?
Yeah, Black Orchid.
Okay.
Thank you for having me. This is wonderful. Hello, everybody in South Africa and everybody all over the world. Yeah, it's nice being here with you.
So, can you please tell us a bit about your journey? You have such an interesting journey of how you got into music and being a music producer and an
Mhm.
artist.
Well, I guess I should introduce myself. I go by Black Orchid. I am a three-time Juno-nominated producer, singer-songwriter, artist, remixer, model. Um, I'm a founder and curator of a brand I created called That's a Dope Sample, where I aim to educate people through the art of sampling, through like video content, through like social media like Instagram and Twitter. Um, I've worked with a lot of people here in Canada where I am, people like Chelsea Stewart, Maestro Fresh West, who is the Canadian godfather of hip hop. I've worked with people internationally, like Sly and Robbie, they're legendary producers. I've worked with people like Red Rat, who's also an international dancehall superstar. So I've been blessed to have, that kind of those kinds of artists in my discography, in my career. But it took a lot to get here. It didn't come overnight. It's been like almost like a 20-year pursuit of what I'm doing now. Um, Along the way, I kind of got sidetracked with being a mother at an early age and being a wife and having to deal with that and putting my dreams on hold. So it's been a long journey to where I am now.
You speak about how it's been a long journey for you to get to where you are, to be a full-time artist, but you actually were working in healthcare. And how does one go from healthcare? And I know that you stopped working in healthcare because of a traumatic event that
Yeah.
happened. But does one go from working from healthcare and then just deciding, okay, I'm gonna full on be this multi-talented artist?
Well, I always had music around me from when I was like a young age. So it kind of never left when I did enter the healthcare field. Like I would find myself like writing songs and singing in the hallways and the alley, the stairwells of my job and stuff. So and then when I started getting more into music, I was starting to juggle like trying to be an artist and still trying to be be in the healthcare field. And that was kind of hard because I had to make a decision whether or not, I wanted to pursue my dreams or, try to make my parents proud by being responsible and staying in my career. But um I just felt that wasn't really for me. That wasn't my purpose in life.
Yeah, that's true. That happens with all of us. Um, you are a Juno nominated producer, and you last year and this year you embarked on a journey of writing a children's hip hop album, which was something very interesting that I just had never heard of. How did
Right.
you go about getting into the children's hip hop soundtrack?
Well, I have to really give credit to the one and only Maestro Fresh West. We've been friends for almost a decade now, but been working partners for maybe about 7 years now. And so over the course of like the couple, this last year and this year, he had actually wrote a book before that called "Stick to Your Vision." Young Maestro Goes to School, and it was basically about himself when he was a kid. So he had the idea of making an album to go with the book. So he had called me up one day and it's like, I want to make a kids album. You think you can help me? And I was like, yeah, I think so, because I'm a mom. I have 4 kids. And so I was really excited at the chance to kind of craft the soundtrack around this character, Young Maestro. So I did produce 2 tracks on the first album, one called Piano Lessons and one called Julia the Great. Piano Lessons was also my young son. He's 10 years old, so he helped with a little bit of piano stuff. So, and then Julia the Great was centered around like a little girl in the book that was kind of like his rival, but not so much in a way. So it got nominated for a Juno last year, and it was an amazing experience because I have never been to the Juno Award ceremony before. So I took my son, my mother came, my father came. And actually, it was the last time I saw him before he passed away. So it was an amazing experience. Yeah, it was sad, but it was bittersweet, because I got to show him what could be like for me if I continued in the path that I created for myself, being a musician, and I'm glad he got to see that part, before he passed away. So I promised him before he did, before that next year, that I'd try to get up on a podium to win an award. And so late last year, like in the summertime, I would say, Maestro calls me up again and says, I want to make like a sequel to the first album. And so I was stoked at the chance to do this because this time it was centered around a little Black girl, and that's something that was really unheard of here, especially in Canada, having a children's hip hop album, like an authentic children's hip hop album that the godfather of Canadian hip hop created, and had all these people that he brought together to make this happen. And so I was really honored at the chance to do that. So I produced 6 songs on the album out of the 10 of them. And it got nominated for a Juno again. Shout out to Keisha Fresh. Shout out to everybody, the whole team, Dub J. Just all that together, we just came in and we did it again. So I was just really honored, to try to be an example to little girls, and especially women too, that feel that they're stuck in what they're doing, but if they follow their dreams, that things like this can happen like for them.
That's so great. And amazing that you say that, that, you are leading by example for young Black girls in Canada, but not just in Canada, but in the world, that you can follow your dreams and actually make a success of it, because we're so much afraid, being Black girls and choosing safety, a career, and then having this calling that you have, which is like your passion, and just being afraid that, you might not make it. And look at you now with, being nominated more than 5 times. And what you love. And that is just so amazing. You wear so many hats besides music production, being a mom and a content creator. What are some other things that you love doing? And besides the dope beats that you also kind of touched on, what else do you do that is
I could tell you. Actually, I have a collection of vinyl here that I started of vinyl, so I collect vinyl. This is the Michael Jackson Thriller album from 1983. So because I'm a producer, I like to have the sources of the samples. So I started to that's become like a hobby, but also I've started making content off of my collection. Another thing I really enjoy doing is pole dancing. I learned to pole dance about 3 years ago. Before my 40th birthday, I said to myself, let me learn a skill before I'm 40. And I took some classes, and then COVID hit, and then I couldn't go in person, so I started teaching myself stuff online for like 2 years. I got pretty good. So I like doing that, and I like watching documentaries, and I like decorating my studio. I got little plants in there, and I started playing the guitar. I started teaching myself this year to play the guitar. I started taking guitar lessons. So that's the stuff I like
You
to
do a
do.
lot. You do a lot.
Yeah.
You are doing a lot. You're doing the
Yeah.
most. You speak about your pole dancing, and the result of you pole dancing is that you lost a lot of weight. You lost 50
Yeah.
pounds. Was that something
Yeah.
that you were, turning 40, as you said, and were transitioning? Was that something that you were consciously like, I'm turning 40, this is a big stage of my life. I want to change things around. I know when I turned 30, like 2 years ago, I felt the same. So it was
Yeah.
that a conscious thing for you as well?
For me, it was more of a health decision because before I lost the weight, like I was like almost 240 pounds, but like my health was starting to suffer. Like I was pre-diabetic. It was hard for me to walk places. Um, I was out of breath. So I was like, I can't continue my life like this. I have to, make a change for the better. And, like everybody else, you try to take the easy way out by taking pills and all that stuff, but that doesn't work. So you have to take the hard way. So I put myself in the gym. I started pole dancing, and between the two of those things and like intermittent fasting, the weight came off. So, and then the hard part was making it stay off. So I had to try to maintain that by keeping up my interest and my hobbies through pole dancing and stuff, and trying to make working out fun, not just lifting weights. I like to dance like by myself in the corner, it's good cardio and jump rope. So the things like that, like it's important because when your kids see you like an example, they have a good example to follow, their mom is trying to take care of themselves, so they should try to do the same thing too. Not that they always do, because they like pizza and junk food all the time.
They're kids.
Right? They're kids. So, but at least I'm trying to make a conscious effort to set an example for them. And what I find is people have become inspired because I post about my progress and stuff, and people tell me all the time that they're inspired by what I've done. So it makes me happy. Yeah.
So you have your latest single out, Keep Pushing,
Yeah.
which is a great song. I had to listen to
Thank
it.
you.
And how did you also are a songwriter, so
Yeah.
where did the inspiration for Keep Pushing just come for you?
So Keep Pushing. I wrote that song back in like 2016.
Mhm.
I was like in a WhatsApp group full of other producers, and like we throw each other samples and make a beat out of it. So I made a beat, and I'm like, I wonder what it would sound like with words on it. So I just wrote like something at the time to kind of like motivate myself and other people. And then I really didn't do anything with it. But then I started like facing like really hard times, and like the song became like a mantra like through all of that. Like I faced homelessness like multiple times like in my life, um especially with trying to like escape like abusive situations and stuff, and not being responsible with money and things because you're trying to do everything else, and put other people first before yourself. And so you fall into crazy situations. So I felt myself into that, and that song became like a mantra for me. I produced in the shelter that I was staying at, and at the time I was like, wow, I don't even know if I'm going to see my way out of this, but like here I am. It's 5 years later since the last time I was in a shelter. I picked up 2 Juno nominations since then. I went to the Junos. I have songs playing all over the radio, all over the world. It's just so many things that are happening right now. I've been to places that I've never been to, because of my music, and because I've just been consistent and persevered through the adversity that I face. And I feel like it's my duty to show people that too, because a lot of people go through hard times and feel like they have to they give up, and I'm here to show people that if you do keep pushing, if you just keep going, then you'll make it out of, like I said, hard times won't last for long. And this is the result. I'm not completely out of everything, but I'm grateful where I am right now, because I would have like desperately wished to be where I was 5 years ago, or even like 10 years ago with what I'm doing now. So yeah, I'm grateful. The song is well received by a lot of people. A lot of people have told me that it gets them through things, so, and it motivates them. So that's my aim, with finally putting out that song, because I held on to it for a very long time and sang it to myself a lot. But I figured that if it motivated me this much, then the whole world could be motivated by it too.
That is such an inspiring story. I think a lot of the time when people see people in their success or their harvest season, they just think, well, you are here now, Renee, like Black Orchid, like you're here now, but they don't know the type of things that you had to go through as a woman, as a Black woman in the world, and what you've had to survive to be here. So thank you for sharing that, because I think we tend to forget that everyone goes through some sort of struggle, but because things look so picture perfect on social media, we just forget that, that's a human being on the other side that has gone through stuff, that has persevered through stuff. And your strength and your resilience, and it's just testament to that, because here you are now. Yes, you're not where you would like to be, but you are better than you were yesterday, not even 5 years ago, just yesterday. And that is just so inspiring and so motivating for me, for everyone's gonna watch this.
Thank you.
So inspired by that, by like chasing your dreams is not an easy journey, but it's so rewarding. And thank you for sharing that. You have a heavy reggae influence in your music. Is that something that comes from your culture, or can you just talk about that a bit?
Yeah. Well, I am of Jamaican descent. My family was a whole mix of things, but mostly it's Jamaican. My parents immigrated from my dad immigrated from Jamaica, and my mother immigrated from England, and they came here to Canada, and they had me. So when I was growing up, I was influenced by a lot of different things, reggae and dancehall being one, but also R&B and gospel and country music and EDM, because my mother loved to listen to like all different kinds of music. And so she would play her records and she would blast in the car. So it stuck with me, and all that influence, it pours into my music. So I don't consider myself to just be one brand of artist, like a dance hall or a reggae artist, because my sound is so eclectic. Like I might throw a little dance hall in and put a little like, for instance, like I within the last couple of years, I discovered amapiano, and I just love that genre.
South Africa to the world.
South Africa, big up in itself. So I just try to really study, how that sound is, and try to like produce it myself. So I might like mix a little dance hall with amapiano and try to come up with different things. So I don't consider myself to just be one type of like artist. So, but even though I'm influenced by so many different things, I have so many different records of so many different things, because I love all kinds of music, So yeah.
Where do you see yourself in the next year, the next 2 years? I know you are dropping new songs this year, 2 new songs this year. So where do you see yourself in the next year, the next 2 years? And what would you aspire to be?
Within the next year or so, over the course of this year, I want to finally put my album out, because all this music that I've been making over the course of my career, they're producing for other people. I've been trying to get my album myself out for the last like 7 years. So I'm just trying to get all that music out. Just find people to collaborate with, and network with, really, get my songs into like sync placements and TV and movies. I've already been successful in that front, which is great, but getting into a more larger scale mainstream stuff would be, great.
Mhm.
I want to be able to establish like showcases for artists and stuff. Um, for those who might not feel that they are that they're like that they're looked over in the industry, stuff like that. And I want to kind of educate people on what I'm doing with NFTs and crypto and stuff like that also. I'm also trying to get my docuseries off the ground for That's a Dope Samples. So I expect all that stuff to roll into the next year. Hopefully next year, you'll see me at the Junos again and maybe even the Grammys for the album that I've dropped this year. So yeah, we'll see what happens as all this stuff rolls out,
If you
Stay
need to
tuned.
show up, do up, girl. I'm here for you. Show up, do
Yeah,
up.
I would love to. Anybody out there in South Africa, you wanna, have the Black Orchid experience, hit me up. I'm right here. I'd love to come out there and just
Yeah.
experience and vibe with, and collaborate with anybody out there. It'd be amazing.
Um, Thank you so much for that. What do you want to say to the little black girl out there who wants to be an artist, who wants to be a content creator, who just wants to be a creator?
Well, I say to them that you can be whatever it is in life that you want to be. People might not like the fact that you like certain things. You might like weird and quirky things, but those things people will later, they will try to copy and emulate you for. So you just be you and do whatever it is that you want to do and don't let anybody stop because whatever you put your mind to that you can do. Because if I can do it, you can do it too.
Thank you for that so much, Renee. Thank you
You're
for
welcome.
giving me your time. Thank you for this great opportunity. I think it's really important. We're collaborating over the seas and time zones.
Yeah, amazing.
Thank you to the internet and thank you to the Black Woman Collective.
Hey, yeah, I love that. That was an amazing connection. I have to say, I got to pick that up, especially when I get back in the group and say that we did our interview. Yeah, pick that up. It was amazing.
And thank you for just your time and thank you for your wisdom and your story. It's so important for everyone to hear. And I think you'll have such an amazing journey, an amazing story, and an amazing career ahead of you. Like, and thank you for just sharing it and being so open and honest about it.
You're welcome. I figure it's important to be honest because, in a world full of people hiding through masks and filters and stuff like that, people need to know like the real of what's going on. And so I try to be as real as I can and share my story with people whenever I can. Don't be fooled by all of this stuff. I just want to put myself together well. I've been through some stuff and I really thank you for your time. I really appreciate the platform. Enough love, South Africa. You don't know I'm gonna be there soon.
Yes, yes, and I can't wait for you to be here, and we can meet in person.
Yeah, for sure. That would be amazing.
Any last words of wisdoms you would like to share? I know you already shared a word of wisdom for anyone there.
The biggest thing for me throughout this whole journey that I always tell myself is that consistency is the cheat code to success. And so you remain consistent at what you're doing and you'll get far. So, and it takes a while. It's not going to happen overnight, but if you are consistent, you will be successful. So that's my word of wisdom.
Yes. Consistency. That is so true. Discipline and that's my word of the year. Discipline.
Right. And very much discipline.
Thank you so much, Renee.
You're
Bye.
welcome. It's my pleasure. Bye.